What's up with you? What's up with you? What's up with you? YA. What's up with you? What's up with you? What's up with you? YA. What's up with you? What's up with you? What's up with the YAB? What's up with you? What's up with you? What's up with you? YAB?
Hi, my name is Caitlin Atkinson, and I'd like to welcome you to the second installment of our video podcast. We are so delighted to show you what we've created, and we hope you are just as excited as we are. Thank you to all of our supporters. Without you, this would be impossible. Please enjoy and let us know what you think. Hi, Caitlin again. I just wanted to take a minute to thank everyone at the convening and just say I'm honored to be your host today. This event is near and dear to our hearts, and I want to thank you all on the behalf of the YAB for attending. I'd like to recognize each and every YAB member for all the hard work and dedication through the challenges we faced over the last 2 years. We are working hard to bring YYA service providers and YYA lived experience voices to the COC. I would also like to thank the KCRHA for collaborating with us on this event as well as supporting us in our endeavors. And I'd like to bring attention to the RHA's generosity in allowing this to be an event planned and hosted completely by the YAB. Let's give it up for them. Once again, thank you to all the youth and young adults, supporters, and funders attending. Thank you. Now back to the podcast. Today's highlighted resource is the Auburn Arcadia YMCA.
Hi, I'm here with Cassie Dallas from the Auburn YMCA, and we are here to talk about all things youth and young adult resources. What sort of important programs does the Auburn YMCA provide to youth and young adults?
Yeah, so Arcadia provides drop-in supportive services from 1 o'clock to 6 o'clock daily, where we have case management on the floor, we have showers available, we serve a hot meal daily, we have laundry services on site, and then navigation to housing resources. In addition, we open our emergency shelter for ages 18 to 24 every night, starting at 9 p.m. They're allowed into the space. Our doors lock at 10 p.m. There's case managers on the floor. They're allowed to clean bedding, their own mats, showers, hygiene items, overdose prevention items, and then we serve a hot breakfast in the morning as well. Out of our space, we also have outreach services in the community. So we provide outreach services to South King County areas and cities, meeting the most basic needs in the community. So hygiene, food, clothes, basic case management, and referrals to housing and navigation services in the community.
That's awesome to hear. It seems like there are a lot of resources for youth and young adults here.
Lots, yeah, we try our best. We try to enrich the lives of our young people as much as we can.
That's awesome. I was wondering what kind of information you collect from the youth and young adults who access resources.
Definitely. So we try to collect their legal name and date of birth as best as we can. Identification is not required to access services with us. The goal is that young person is working to obtain those identifying documents to access housing and further services. However, it's not required from us. We ask the young adult to share as much as they're comfortable sharing when they first come in with us, like their ethnicity, their background, their preferred pronouns, preferred name. And then our biggest one that we collect is the prior city that they're coming from. We want to try to meet our city markers. And so just identifying what cities folks come from typically.
I was wondering how these resources can be best accessed by youth and young adults.
Yeah, definitely. So every month I send out a calendar of events to our community partners with the hopes that these are shared with our young people in the community, shared in local spaces and community centers. Obviously, we know that young people don't always have that access though, so mostly we are found out about at Arcadia via word of mouth from people, and so we get a lot of phone calls in on a regular basis having folks ask the same question: how do we access services? The best way to access services at Arcadia is just walking in the door with us. And so we're open for services every single day, 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock for drop-in. That's the absolute best time for someone to come in, get an intake completed with us, and start meeting with the case manager to identify needs, barriers, and then what that next step for permanent housing looks like for them. It's also important to know that our drop-in center is open to housed individuals as well, and not just the unhoused community. And so that means, a 16-year-old looking for resume building support or budgeting support could walk into our space and access services with us, which is great for the community. Additionally, coming in during drop-in to do an intake with us is best for accessing shelter, but shelter is first come, first serve on a nightly basis, and so folks do not need an intake to access shelter with us that first night. If they line up at around 8 o'clock, 8:30 p.m., they're usually going to be good to get a bed for the night, and we can do that paperwork once they're inside with us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many beds do you have here?
Yeah, so we have capacity for 16 every night. Sometimes we're able to go up to 18. Our goal is to get some more funding so that we can get some more staff so that we can really increase those numbers. I would love to be hitting, 22 up to 25 into 2025. So that is our goal, but with staffing and some more funding needed, definitely.
There's definitely a need for those beds.
Absolutely.
I think that's awesome that
Yeah.
you're trying to get more funding for that.
And we have been filling up every night lately, sitting around 18 to 20 individuals. The seasons of October through March are typically our busiest, where we're at capacity for shelter most nights.
That makes a lot of sense to me,
Definitely.
especially with the weather conditions.
Yeah,
I can totally
definitely.
understand more people seeking
Yes.
shelter.
Increased rain, colder hours, darker outside definitely makes people access a lot more.
I think I have one more question just to wrap up, and that question was, do you have any programs that are accessible online?
Yeah, definitely. So we have an assortment of housing programs that are available online, but our biggest program online that's available is our behavioral health services. So our behavioral health services serve ages 0 to age 99 or when that person passes. Those are available online through our YMCA Social Impact Center website and our counseling referral services. To access those services, it is ideal that someone has insurance. However, we do accept folks without insurance, and all of those rates are on a sliding scale. So a lot of those therapy services can be either here in person out of our Arcadia branch, in Seattle, or our Enumclaw branch, and then those services are open to families and siblings and outpatient therapy and substance use disorder therapy as well.
Thank you so much, Cassie.
Yeah, of
I really
course.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now let's hand the mic to Charisma and see what they have for our Poppin' In for a Minute section.
Hello everyone, my name is Charisma and I'm here popping in for a minute to tell you why I like pottery. Pottery is more than just creating beautiful art. It's an expression of my soul. When my hands touch the clay, I feel connected to something ancient, something timeless. Each piece I make tells a story. My story, formed from the earth beneath my fingertips. Pottery allows me to take something raw, something simple, and transform it into something meaningful. It's an act of patience, of quiet reflection, and sometimes even frustration. But it's always worth it because in the end, the clay becomes a part of me, just as I become a part of it. For me, pottery is not just a craft. It's a therapy. It's a conversation with myself. It's where I can lose time and find peace in it all at once. Pottery isn't just what I do, it's who I am.
Here's today's bonus resource. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you are passionate about youth and young adults.
My name is Salim Robinson, the founder and executive director of Renegades for Life. founded back in 2016. I grew up in the inner city, underprivileged, in an impoverished area called North Londale, inside of Chicago, Illinois. And I went through a lot of bad decision making in my younger years, and it caused me to have to learn from the hard knocks of life. And so in knowing that, and as I got older, I looked back at the community that I had caused so much destruction. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate, is because I always tell people and stuff, we have to take responsibility for the damage that we caused in the community. I was one that caused a lot of damage in the community. From gangs to one of the highest ranking gang members in Chicago, and was very influential. And I did a lot of destructive things in my younger years, and it was because I didn't have the help and support that I needed at that time to steer, guide, and direct. And so that's one of the main reasons why I'm so passionate about helping young people. Someone once asked me, why do you like helping people so much? I said, well, to be honest with you, the main reason why I like helping people is because there was a time in my life where I needed help and could not get it. And so that's what drives me. Young people are a precious commodity. They experience different complex situations, and I take on my responsibility, not dealing with the individuality, but dealing with the complexity of the situation.
What are some steps that we can take to end youth and young adult homelessness, in your own words?
Empowerment. Empowering young people to first understand that they have a responsibility to themselves and to the community. Teaching them how to become good decision makers is what we focus on. Not so much as working hard, but thinking hard. And teaching them how to advocate for themselves, which means to identify something that's going on with them, affecting them, and teaching them how to address that in whichever way that's going to be effective for them to get a sound result that's going to sustain them and take them forward. So I tell young people, they often say, well, I don't have too much to say. I said, well, if you think that you don't have anything to say important, just find an important way to say it, which is a part of advocacy.
What community resource would you want to elevate to the youth and young adults watching?
The Therapy Foundation. We're all damaged products just from growing up in this American society. It's oppressive. You see, it doesn't matter how much progress people say that we made, equality is non-existent. You see, so therapy will help heal some of the wounds that we have in our upbringing and some of the damage that's been done on us by this society. Therapy will help identify those wounds and help heal those wounds. We often hear that hurt people. You see, well, I have a saying that says, change people. You see? And so I would send every young person in this society to therapy.
Now, I would like to go ahead and introduce a conversation that I facilitated with a bunch of young people who were very passionate. We are wanting to get into more spaces like this, and so I'm hoping by showcasing this, we can be included in more spaces like these where we talk about our experiences and what we believe could have been done better or needs to be done in the future.
My biggest challenge about it is that I am disabled, and honestly at the point where I should have a caretaker of some kind, but the toughest part of being homeless wasn't getting somewhere that could help me. The biggest problem was that I was suddenly, like, I'd been around someone, I'd been feeling safe with them for a long time, and then suddenly I was just on my own. I didn't have my medications, I had 2 bags and the clothes on my back. I was completely alone in an unfamiliar place, and I guess what was most important was figuring out what I needed and realizing that even if progress feels slow, as long as you have a goal and you're working towards it, like the ultimate goal here is being housed, of course, but there are always steps to take to get there, and my steps mostly involved my health. For other people, these steps might involve getting identification, getting a job, establishing themselves in school or something. Like, it's important. Like, you can have your moments of panic, but you have to eventually set aside the anxiety and figure out what you need and make a plan to get it.
I was living with my mom, her boyfriend, and my little sister, and my cat. We were in Alaska for about 2 months, living out of a van, which, because I had my cat, who basically saved my life for the past 3 years, it wasn't that difficult for me. I thought of it more as a vacation. And then we moved to back to Utah, because we were supposed to be in Alaska for the summer for a business thing that fell through, and it's the reason we are homeless. And so we went back to Utah in July, I believe, and I started living out of hotels with points that he had earned, my mom's boyfriend had earned, doing elaborate vacations and stuff, and so yeah, I ended up deciding to move here because I have issues. I'm allergic to dairy, which is a very strange allergy, so I can't have cow's milk, so I'm expensive already. I have severe PTSD, possible CPTSD, and I also have a cat who has been missing for the past 2 months, and it's been more difficult for me not having my cat around, because I need him. I've literally been sick 4 times because he's gone missing 4 times. And I'm at the point where I think that he is dead, and so I'm a little sick right now.
So with that, I hope that we can have more serious conversations, and I, as well as the YAB, get to learn more about your guys' individual experiences. It's interesting to learn about you guys and what you've gone through, and we want to be able to raise and elevate your experiences and voices to the COC, to lawmakers, to policy creators, program creators. Hopefully you enjoyed the podcast, and I hope you have a good rest of the convening. Please enjoy. Thank you.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's Shadiamond, and I'm here to talk about what's next for the YAB. The YAB has a seasonal newsletter, and our next one is our winter newsletter. Be on the lookout for that. Next, we have open YAB seats, and we are looking for more passionate youth and young adults with lived experience to be part of our YAB. Please stay tuned for our application. Also, the Youth Action Board is currently looking to connect with community partners and table at your events to further connect with youth and young adult community. We are also looking forward to helping organizations create their very own Youth Action Boards. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you would like our assistance with creating your YABs. Our email is yabcoms@gmail.com. That is YABCOMMS@gmail.com. Also, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, YABcast. That is YABCAST, to see updates on our next podcast episode. Lastly, we are finalizing our 2025 work plan to present to the COC board, which will include checking out YHDP programs and giving updates on our projects. The COC is important because the YAB's job is to represent youth and young adult voices when it comes to COC dollars spent on youth homelessness. Thank you all so much for coming out to our very first convening. Stay tuned for our second convening next June. You don't want to miss it. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Hi everybody. I just wanted to pop on one more time to give a final thank you for watching the podcast. It took a lot of effort, and us as the YAB are very excited to show not only you but a lot of people. We hope that we can continue doing this work. We can continue learning about you guys and knowing who you are as a community, who our service providers are, and how we can provide more opportunities to be able to talk to people like legislators, people who do policy. This is just one more final thank you. I truly hope that you enjoyed your time here at the convening, and have fun with the food, have fun with the activities that we're gonna have, and just have a good rest of your day.